Contact leads to conflict. While other nations fruitlessly war each other, the Andigonj stellar compact builds culture. This focus inward will be severely tested. Fanatic xenophobic isolationists, the Andigonj, live on their tundra world of Gonj. They explore, exploit, expand, and endure. For a species that wanted nothing to do with the galaxy though sure had different plans. The beer hegemony reaches out to us, offering us a gift. No doubt they seek to grease their relations with us. It's a doubtful proposition, questions are raised as to their intentions, but eventually economic reality wins out. The money will be very useful clearing out xenoblockers, making us stronger. But of course the idea of owning a favor is unsettling. The last of the Cyberx artifacts is discovered. The machine race had aborted its destruction of organic life and has retreated to the singular system, coordinates to which we have deduced.
Situation log updated.
The system lies within Xabir hegemony's territory, no doubt they are unaware of its significance. To reach it we'd have to open borders with her. They have been seeking warmer relations with us and are receptive, making it a tempting proposition. Though tempting, some values are held in greater esteem than material comforts.
Construction complete. Mission complete.
Borders remain closed and Dovsad returns from the field to his lead role. The last of the Amoeba fleets is wiped out and the Amoeba campaign ends. The attack on our sovereign space has been rightfully avenged, and we have learned much in the process.
We have claimed a new world for our people.
With Cyber's project done and the Amoeba campaign finished, the focus once again returns to colonization. By the time Ionide's Prime is settled, we already have an established procedure. Gene clinics accelerate growth, and monuments establish order. Finally, terrain is transformed to be productive, using the very money we've gained from Xabir hegemony. There will be no problem settling a world as lush and prosperous as this one.
Construction complete.
Exploration, meanwhile, is transferred closer to home. Our researchers are working with scientists planet-side. There are still systems to claim up north, but the border is forming with the Devourers. They've claimed the world in the Dominar system before us. It becomes quite customary seeing raiders on the border raiding other civilizations. As long as it's others, it's a presence that becomes somewhat tolerated. Kepler, Ionides, and Brunheim are quite secure. But there is an unsecured amount of space from which the raids are mounted. The soft underbelly of our defenses is of concern. Stations are needed in this area and in the area where the border is forming with the Dakota Devourers. Work begins to expand our logistics and supply chains. We'll be able to maintain more space stations.
The new technology.
Our own carrier designs are coming to fruition, with Amoeba flagella to boot. Our naval experience has lent ourselves to a certain style of military. Not everyone pays it respect.
Construction complete.
The Uri Imperium is bold following its victory. Meanwhile, the Devourers have run through the weakened Ikarzuri Foundation. More worlds fell to its swarms. The fight for survival is going badly. Our ships are built with Sigmog designs in mind, but the Devourers are becoming the more relevant threat. Changing previously neglected type of defenses is needed. Missile technology remains our primary way of offense. simply due to the fact that some of our scientists specialized in it. Would the Imperium sign a defensive pact with one of their spiritual neighbors? This secures their borders. While everyone was focusing on devourers of the Sigmog, the Imperium slowly expanded.
We have claimed a new world for our people.
Kepler Prime is settled. It's a very large thunder world with plenty minerals. The symbolism of securing the system cannot also be understated. All defensive stations are equipped with gun batteries, missile batteries, and communication jammers. The setup is designed to completely defend or hold off attackers until other fleet can arrive. The Curate Enclave is where we do business with Xenos. With their help we can spread our culture throughout the compact. While others war, we grow our culture, perfecting our very being. Our most decorated admiral, Staunch, has died. He served in countless pirate and amoeba engagements back when we were at their most dangerous. The Sigmog threaten us. It's all they can do in their position.
We have mastered a new technology.
Our star bases have been expanded. Our defenses in the frontier will finally be complete. The locals on Kepler start referring to it as the Kepler Line, and the name persists. Another contact is made, likely one of the last ones. This fanatically materialistic empire has been surrounded by 3 spiritual ones. They've had a hard time even warring them in the past. Judging from their military strength in comparison to their rivals, it seemed that was a war they had lost. We've been very careful to avoid dissidents, never expanding beyond our capacity to control our core worlds. Yet they sprung up on Ionides all the same. Has the gift from Xabar hegemony radicalized these Andigonj? These so-called militarists think they can tame Xeno life with conquest. They are wrong. By warring we will come to too close of a contact. It will result in cultural contamination, which will spiral conflict out of control. The dissidents are being suppressed. It generates some unrest, but keeps the contagion from spreading. The unrest is countered by maintaining the happiness of current pups who support the status quo. The Sigmog preventative war has ended in status quo.
Construction complete.
The Devourers now rampage through to threaten allied Jezivlin planet space. The Ikarzuri immediately reach out to them for mutual protection. It's their last straw, but with them requiring protection of Xenos, the culture is already lost. Trade within the compact strengthens, requiring specialized facilities. Admiral Staunch's death leads us in a leadership crisis in the Navy. We've not managed to raise Fuzzlin up to his level, therefore he's not picked for the Voidfarer fleet. Instead, one of the old admiral's lieutenants is promoted. The Serene Protector is especially unhappy about this, it goes against his current agenda. New Admiral Fernfunj is asked to serve to his utmost ability.
Construction complete.
It becomes clear why Xabri hegemony tried to grease relations with us. The Sigmog lost some very valuable systems in the preventative war, but they managed to hold off 1 against 2. Xabir realized they were wrong not to join the coalition as it wasn't strong enough to destroy them. So they attack early and alone before Sigmog can replenish. No doubt we were to be involved in their plans, but we didn't budge. But with only a year after the last war, they figure they have the upper hand and decide to go at it alone. Meanwhile, Uri Imperium are pursuing another war with previously unknown civilization. It's alarming how quickly they were able to recover, not only to pursue another conflict, but to start winning some ground. Already planets are lost to the Imperium. Museg, our genetics specialist, has found many ways to adapt amoeba technology into our fleets. At first it was amoeba strikecraft, now he thinks he can adapt regenerative hulls to our own ships. With the amoeba and the regeneration, and even the raider ships, our fleets are very unique, even to each other. This has allowed us to be creative. There is no offensive breakthrough for Xabir against the Sigmar. We'll be keeping a very close eye to this engagement. We have standardized our destroyer patterns to be able to produce them massively, and we are adopting hangar bays to support our strikecraft better. When conflicts are close, preventative steps are necessary. We must protect ourselves from xeno horrors. We mustn't forget the raider threat. The capital line is not yet fully developed and is currently leaking. FTL inhibitors will prevent them from sneaking through our borders. After his failed transfer to the Warfare fleet, Foslin has been working tirelessly to improve his skill set. He is still far from the old general though. The Devourers are bold, chirping at every neighbor. Their scourging brings them in contact with Uri Imperium. The Devourers feast on Xenos as part of their biology, and the Uri Imperium has a hand in conquest. They have to defend and expand in that direction. When these two heavyweights meet in Ekazuri Foundation space, from which they carve their empires, the conflict is inevitable. They're both preoccupied now, but it's only a matter of time before they clash. The new mandate has lost ground against the Imperium, but they've managed to inflict more casualties. We mean to develop more advanced defenses that can not only hold off and win time, but defend against entire enemy fleets. Xabir hegemony continues to reach out to us. As fanatic materialists, we seek scientific progress at any cost. Our technology is too precious and not for sale. The border with Devourers is too wide to defend the fortresses. However, one such fortress is built close to one of their nests. With improvements on Andex Station, the capital line is complete. It consists of Andak Station, Ruinam, Ionized Station, and of course Kepler Station. There is now sufficient base for defense against the raiders. Resources are allocated to construct a giant art monument. The place for this is chosen to be Vumjiam. Vumjiam is an idyllic Eden world and generates great Unity output, even greater than that of Gonj. It's a perfect place to show our ingenuity and culture. With the best planets already settled, expansion is becoming significantly harder. Most worlds are small or resource poor. Those who are not are scarcely inhabitable. Set3 is moderately large with ample food supply. It's moderate in resources and one of the least painful decisions to make. Atlaba 3 on the other hand is a difficult choice. It's small and with meager resources. It's good in engineering though, and its climate is easy to settle. It's a small world that's unlikely to rise in significance. The spiritual states aren't allied per se, but they find mutual understanding. The great gorging has come to a close. Devourers' hunger being temporarily satisfied, they retreat to their nests. An entire species was nearly wiped out in one feeding. Doomed, the Foundation seeks for protection. Regenerative tissue has been researched. The tissue will soon be applied to our fleets. With new expansion efforts, the focus is back on xenoecology. Finno mandate finally forces Uri Imperium to the negotiation table. They managed to wear out the Imperium's war machine to where it had to concede controls to the worlds it had conquered. Finno lost no territory. The mandate is the first to resist the Imperium, and its first setback. The Ikarzuri's first defensive pact seemed desperate, but now with mutual defense with Finno mandate and allied Jazivelin systems who are yet untested, they have secured a strong protection net. There is little hope for prosperity in this arrangement, but it's a force for survival, against both the Devourers and the Imperium. Who knows, if the two are at each other's throats, the little makeshift alliance may as well come out on top. With the help of our curator's resources, we've managed to secure building an art college in Gatana Station. An entire space station dedicated to arts, beauty, and strengthening of our culture. We are staunch non-interventionalists, but we are pacifists too. But the Ionides is quickly populating, and the dissent is less and less prevalent in the status quo population. Zabira is seeing success striking into Sigmog Decimator space. Their leader's focus brings them to victories with their destroyer fleet. Siplim 3 is the last of 3 new planets for colonization. It is both large and resource-rich. The main problem that its high gravity makes the planet scarcely habitable. At 65% habitability, it's a challenge even for the adaptable Andigonj. It has the potential to surpass both Lesson 3 and Gonj, should we able to tame it. With no great prospects, future colonization will be even harder.
One of our spaceports is under attack.
Just as we plan our expansion, we receive news from our observation station over Potter's Pantry. The primitive space-age civilization is threatened by an asteroid which may cause an extinction event. They likely have no means to resist it. We are staunch non-interventionalists, but we are pacifists too. The discussion boils in the core worlds. Should we prevent the destruction? Or are the principles even more important than this? While the Andigonj argue, Serene Protector Serper has a very big decision to make.